Imagine opening TikTok for 5 minutes and suddenly you're hearing a brand new language. Words like Skibidi, Delulu, Rizz fly past in fast, clipped bursts. What does it even mean to have Rizz? And why is demure trending again, but not quite in the way your high school English teacher taught you? Welcome to the wild, rapid, and deeply fascinating world of how Gen Z and TikTok are rewriting the way we speak. Language is changing faster than ever before. But this isn't just about new slang. With platforms like TikTok, the speed and scale of change are reaching a tipping point. And with that comes a risk, what some call linguicide, the gradual death of linguistic diversity as global youth adopt a shrinking set of shared viral words. So why are things shifting so fast? Is it a problem? And what might it mean for how we communicate in the future? Let's break it down. First, the generational divide. Every generation has its own slang, of course, but Gen Z is different. Their playground is the internet, TikTok, Instagram, meme culture. According to sociolinguistic studies, Gen Z uses a kind of creative, compressed language that's uniquely shaped by these platforms. What's more, much of this new vocabulary comes from foreign languages, from digital memes, or from semantic shifts. Meanings are borrowed, flipped, shortened. And that brings us to the idea of linguicide. It's a dramatic word, language killing. But in this context, linguists use it to warn that smaller or more localized ways of speaking may be overwhelmed or replaced by a globally shared digital slang. When everyone adopts the same viral words, local nuances may fade. The more we converge around a few hot trends, the more traditional or regional forms risk being marginalized. So, what are some of the standout words defining this shift? Take Skibidi, for instance, a meme-driven term that has no fixed meaning. On TikTok, it can mean cool or very or even bad, depending on how it's used. Then there's Delulu, a clipped version of delusional, often used playfully to describe unrealistic fantasies. Flexing, slay, clingy. These are all borrowed, repurposed, sometimes inverted. And what about Rizz? Originally short for charisma, it exploded on TikTok as a way to talk about someone's ability to attract or charm romantically. But like many Gen Z words, it's already evolving, or even fading. Some linguists say its meaning has narrowed. It's not just the creation of new words, it's also the repurposing of old ones. This isn't just casual play. Language here becomes deeply tied to identity. Gen Z uses slang as a kind of identity marker, a way to demonstrate belonging. When slang is adopted by a group, it's more than communication, it's community. Words that feel private, in-group, exclusive. It's interesting how quickly these words rise and fall. Some of the most viral terms fade almost as fast as they arrive. For example, Rizz was once everywhere. Now even Gen Zers are saying it's already going out of usage. The vocabulary is evolving at breakneck speed. What's more, the spread isn't just local. There's a global homogenization happening. Through TikTok, youth from across the world are exposed to the same memes, the same trends, the same slang. That creates a shared linguistic landscape, and it raises the concern that localized dialects or minority languages may be left behind. Where is this new vocabulary coming from? A few places, some from Black English, some from internet meme culture, some from AAVE, African American Vernacular English, some from gaming or LGBTQ+ communities. But TikTok accelerates everything. The platform's algorithm, the ability to remix, reuse, and repurpose sound, video, and text, means that words can mutate in real time. There's also a rebellious element. Gen Z's linguistic innovation isn't just playful, it's a statement. Using slang that older generations don't get sends a message. This is my tribe. Before the internet, language change still happened, but more slowly. Trends were regional, spread via music or TV. Now, the internet supercharges everything. And it's not just English. Gen Z around the world is blending languages, borrowing English slang, and weaving it into their mother tongues. For example, in Georgia, the country, young people use words like simp or main character in Georgian conversation because it feels more expressive than traditional phrases. The result? A linguistic landscape that's changing not just in vocabulary, but in how we speak. Tone, intonation, pronunciation. These are being influenced by social media too. Some researchers talk about a TikTok accent, with uptalk, rising intonation at the end of sentences, becoming more common. So by now, you're probably wondering, is grammar changing too? And is this pace sustainable? When we talk about grammar and structure, the answer is nuanced. Grammar isn't disappearing, it's evolving. Gen Z still follows core rules, but they bend conventions for creativity, humor, and speed. For instance, sentence fragments like big mood or no cap don't fit traditional grammar, but they communicate a feeling instantly. It's efficiency over correctness. Almost like linguistic shorthand in a fast-moving digital economy of attention. The pace of change is astonishing. Words and phrases now have extremely short lifespans. A term can go viral on Monday and be passé by Friday. Compare this to pre-internet generations, where slang might last years. The internet and social media compress cultural cycles. Memes and trends act as rapid prototypes for language, tested globally in real time. This has implications beyond just fun. It changes how we transmit information and how quickly we adapt to new ideas. The narrowing gap between British and American English is another effect. Gen Z consumes content globally. TikTokers in London are influenced by New York slang. Australian teenagers mimic viral American pronunciations. This homogenization is accelerating faster than traditional linguistic borrowing, which used to take decades. Other languages are feeling the same pressure. French, Spanish, Māori, and even Chinese are incorporating English loanwords from social media. In some cases, this leads to creative hybrid forms, like Spanglish on TikTok or new Maori terms revitalized in digital content, theconversation.com. But not all words are fleeting. Some new expressions stick because they fill a gap or capture a feeling that older words can't think of main character energy or stan. These words provide cultural shorthand for complex social ideas, which is why they spread and endure. Yet, the majority still evaporate quickly, replaced by the next viral soundbite. Social media doesn't just change words, it changes pronunciation and intonation. Young people mimic the rhythm and pitch of influencers, creating subtle but widespread shifts in how English is spoken. Linguists note that these shifts can ripple across regions, accelerating changes that might have taken generations in the past. So, what does this mean for the future of language? On one hand, there's immense joy and creativity in watching words evolve, in seeing linguistic innovation flourish globally. It's a living, breathing system adapting at internet speed. On the other hand, there's the risk of homogenization. Languages with fewer speakers or localized dialects may struggle to survive as youth worldwide converge on a shared viral vocabulary. Interestingly, some communities are fighting back. The Māori language in New Zealand is being revitalized using TikTok and social media, turning digital attention into cultural preservation. Young creators are using the platform to teach traditional words, combining viral formats with heritage content. This shows that technology doesn't just erase, it can also resurrect and amplify. terra.gov.nz. Finally, there's the question of AI. Language models and chatbots are learning these new slang terms and speech patterns in real time. AI may accelerate trends, reinforce popular expressions, and even predict the next viral word. Imagine a world where AI not only reflects language change, but actively participates in it, curating memes, suggesting phrases, and shaping pronunciation norms. The possibilities are both exciting and a little unnerving. By now, you can see the tension. Rapid creativity versus homogenization, ephemeral trends versus enduring expressions, playful rebellion versus cultural preservation. So, what does all of this mean for the way we communicate today and tomorrow? First, it highlights that language is no longer a slow-moving backdrop to culture. It's a front line of social identity, a living viral phenomenon that spreads faster than ever before. TikTok and other social platforms have created a hyper-accelerated feedback loop. Users invent or adopt a word, it spreads globally within hours, and then it's either cemented in usage or discarded. This speed has profound consequences. On the positive side, it democratizes linguistic creativity. Anyone, anywhere, can coin a phrase that becomes part of global discourse. It empowers marginalized voices, allowing communities to express themselves and shape culture. From LGBTQ+ slang to meme-driven jargon, these words carry meaning, humor, and nuance. They help people connect across borders, turning language into a shared cultural currency. On the flip side, there's homogenization. As global slang spreads, local dialects, idioms, and lesser-known languages risk being overshadowed. The more viral English slang dominates, the smaller linguistic ecosystems struggle to survive. Linguists warn that if this trend continues unchecked, it could accelerate the loss of linguistic diversity worldwide. Languages aren't just tools for communication, they're repositories of culture, history, and identity. Losing them is like losing entire ways of thinking. Yet, there's hope. Just as some languages face threats, social media has shown it can also be a tool for revival. The Māori language example is striking. Young New Zealanders are using TikTok to bring traditional words into the digital mainstream. Similarly, other minority languages are seeing a resurgence online as creators blend heritage with trend-driven content. Technology isn't inherently destructive. It amplifies both loss and preservation, depending on how it's used. We're also at the cusp of a new era where AI intersects with language change. Models trained on global social media trends will learn and propagate these new linguistic patterns. Imagine AI chatbots that understand Rizz, Skibidi, or main character energy or predictive tools suggesting new slang to optimize virality. This raises fascinating questions. Could AI accelerate homogenization even further, or might it also help safeguard linguistic diversity by archiving and teaching endangered words? Ultimately, the story of Gen Z and TikTok is a story of human ingenuity, speed, and adaptability. Language has always evolved, but never at this scale or velocity. Every new term, every viral trend, is both a reflection of culture and a driver of it. The key is balance, celebrating creativity while remaining mindful of the broader linguistic ecosystem. So, what can we take away from this? First, pay attention. Listen, learn, and engage with the evolving language around you. Second, value diversity. Encourage the preservation of local dialects and minority languages, even as global slang spreads. And finally, embrace change. Language isn't static, and that's part of what makes it beautiful. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the words you've learned from TikTok. Maybe the next viral term will come from you. And check out our other videos to explore more fascinating trends shaping our economy, culture, and society. Language is alive, and thanks to Gen Z and TikTok, it's never moving faster.